Allie. Join me as I show you how to make this Indira necklace, whether or not you make it in soft tones or you make it in more fancy tones. We've got all the supplies that you need. Go ahead and check out below the video in the description there. It has links to get back to our website. Gather up all your materials and let's get started. I'm going to begin this Indira design, which uses a fair amount of materials. We have 8 O's, 15 O's, and 11 O seed beads here. I have some Pear drop beads in the 18 by 13, some Briolettes in 6 by 12, some PieDuo beads. I have some 3mm bicones and some crystal oval nuggets. Now, we also have wire guards here and our clasp, and I'm not going to get everything out right now because the first thing we need to do is just do our baseline. Our baseline is going to consist of our oval nuggets, a 15 and 8, and a crystal. I have on 5 feet of thread to my white dragon thread, and I put a stop bead on the bottom of the thread. We're going to put that stop bead, the gold one, right on the bottom here. Let it drop down to the bottom. This is a necklace where we go up and back the design. So it's not one thing that is going one way and never coming back. You're coming back. So you don't need a lot of extra thread after the stop bead. You're going to go through that once, go through that bead twice. Now you have a stop bead. Congrats. The center section of the necklace, which I'm going to be doing, consists of about 6.5 inches. Knowing that and wanting my necklace to be 18 inches, I'm going to do 6 inches before I go in and put on an oval nugget. Then I'll put on the oval nugget and then I'll do 6 more inches after the oval nuggets. Pouring out my beads, I have some 15s, some 8s, and my bicones. My pattern to start is going to be 15, 8, 15 crystal, and repeat 15, 8, 15 crystal. That's going to proceed for 6 inches, and then we're going to switch to adding in one of the oval nuggets there after each one of my crystals. How are hundreds of jewelry makers saving huge each month on premium jewelry making kits? With the PotomacBeads kit subscription, you'll receive 3 brand new kits every month for as little as $49.99. That gives you a savings of up to $70 per box on retail prices. And you get free shipping. And there's no long-term commitment. You can cancel at any time. Subscribe today and enjoy top quality kits and massive savings. Visit PotomacBeads.com/kit subscribe today or click on the link in the description below. Once you get to the end of the base of your necklace here, you're going to see that we switched also to having 9 of my nuggets on the middle there. We're going to come down after that 6 inches and we are going to add a wire guard or a wire guardian. The wire guard, we're going to go up through the wire guard and we are going to go back down through the wire guard as well. This is a necklace that I would recommend putting a lobster clasp on with an extender chain so you can make it shorter or bigger. So we're just going to go right from the wire guard back down into the piece. Coming back down into the piece, I want you to add a 15 and then go the whole way back through the 8, 15, 4, the whole way back till we're coming out of one of our nugget beads. Now you'll notice on my mat here, I added my extra beads because we're getting ready to do so. When you are exiting and going down through here, you just want to make sure that you don't have any extra thread showing. So you want to make sure that you don't miss any of your 15s going through. They're the easiest thing to miss because what that will do is cause a kink in your nice string of beads. If you're not sure exactly how long you want this to be, you can always do like I did in the sample piece and I ended it and then I'm going to attach chain in the back there too. So there's a couple different options. Make sure also as you're doing this, and if you have any questions, go ahead in and type them in the comments there and we can answer those as we see them. All right, so coming down here, going in, out through the last of the beads here. Sometimes I'll even grab a plier, pull this through. Make sure I've gone through all the beads. And we're going to exit through our nugget. As we exit through the nugget, we are going to do a series of 3 drops with our smaller briolettes, and then we do 3 drops with the bigger pear drops. We're going to create a circle in our design around our nugget here, utilizing our PieDuo beads. Once we get to the crystal in the center, then we'll add just a little bit more there. To begin, coming out of our bead here, we are going to add 1, 2, and 3 15-0 seed beads, followed by 1 11-0 seed bead. Bringing the camera in a little bit closer so you can see this guy in action here. When we do this, we are going to, after those 3 15s and then 1 8, we're going to go down through a PieDuo. Down through the PieDuo means we're going through the PieDuo from the interior towards the exterior. When we're at the exterior here, I want you to add a 15, 11, 15, and you're going to sew up through the second hole of that PieDuo bead. Pulling that down next to your project then, you can see kind of the start of that interior. You're going to add a 15 with an 11 on each side, and then we're going to go into the next PieDuo bead. The next PieDuo bead, same thing here, going in through the top, coming out through the bottom. When we're out through the bottom, we want to do the 15, 11, 15, back up through the PieDuo. Nice and tight there. You don't want any extra thread to show. 1 11 followed by 3 15s. And we're going to go into the other side of our crystal nugget. That oval nugget then, we're going to come through and we're going to circle back around what we just did. What we just did, we're going to go down through our 3 15s, our 11-0, our PieDuo, our first 15, and then we're going to exit through the 11-0 seed bead. Once we're out through that 11-0 seed bead there on the interior, we're going to add our briolette drop. That's going to be a series of 2 15s, 11, 8, and drop. So we're doing 2 15s, an 11, an 8, one of our 6x12 briolettes, 8, 11, 2 15s. Go over to the opposite side of the PieDuo and go up through the 11 and the 15. Going up then through the PieDuo. Once you're out the PieDuo there, it wants to go through the 11, go ahead and let it. You're also going to go through the 15s along the side here. And we're going to make our way the whole way over then through our oval nugget. All the way over till we're coming out through our bicone. When we're out through our bicone, we're going to do an additional drop. Now here's where you can have fun and kind of take your pick of what you want the drop to look like. In the sample piece, I just did a 15, 11, 15, and then another one of the crystals. If you want to, you can also drop another briolette down in between. That's completely up to you. I'm going to keep it nice and simple like the sample and just extend it a little bit more, doing a 15, 15, 11, 15, another crystal bicone, and then the same thing on the opposite side. 1 15, 1 11, 2 15s, and then we're circling back through that 3mm bicone our thread is coming out of. This is going to put almost a right angle weave unit onto the design so that it's hanging there in the middle. Now guess what? We get to repeat that over and over 2 more times until we get to the middle. The only thing we'll change in the middle is how we do the drop. So to show as you continue on then doing the drops here and the in between that little right angle weave at all of the independent 3mm, here's where you're doing the drop down. So I did 3 of my briolettes and then I'm doing 3 of my drop beads. And to do the drop beads, I've already done 2. I'm going to show you how we did the final one. Going in here, coming out of the 11-0 seed bead, I want you to add 2 15s, 1 11, 1 8, just like we've been doing. And I repeated that. I see. So let me take that off quick. And after your 8 seed bead here, must have gotten excited and added extra beads. Mistakes are made by everyone, not just beginners. All right, so in here, after your 11 or your 8 seed bead, what you want to do is just add 1 15. That 15 seed bead then is going to go right above our teardrop, going down the teardrop from the point towards the base. At the base, unlike the briolette where it goes straight across, we're adding a 15, 11, 15 to our needle and thread. Back up through that drop. After that drop then, you want to give a nice tight pull there. After that drop, you're going to add a 15, an 8, and an 11, followed by your 2 15s, and then go back right into that same pattern that you're doing for all the others. So the drop beads, the only change is that you come through the bead itself, add that little picot trim, and back up. I'm going to continue on going in and doing the rest of my briolettes after these drops. Once you finish up doing all of your drop downs, and obviously you can do more than 9 like I did, but it's up to you. I am going to come out, so I ran my thread the whole way through this end, coming out next to that stop bead. I'm going to grab my wire guard, go through the wire guard, up through the one side, down through the other side. Right here, we are going to take off the wire guard, or sorry, take off the stop bead, tie these 2 threads together, we're going to reinforce the end of the thread by going back up through the wire guard another time. After I come out of the wire guard this second time, I'm going to grab a 15 seed bead just to make it match on the end. Go back down through the project, through the 8 seed bead, the whole way then along that center core amount of beads. So I'm taking my thread and needle the whole way through all of the piece here, through the top, as I let it hang down, through all of the top beads for one more time. And then as I take it through the top beads here, I'm going to come back through this wire guard on this side, reinforce, come back down here and tie off my thread ends. Once that's done and my thread ends are tied off, I'm going to add some jump rings, just opening and closing them, and my chain and my lobster to the opposite side to finish up my necklace. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you had fun creating this Indira necklace. Remember, if you do need any supplies, look below the video in the description, and you can get links back to the website there to gather up your materials to get your fancy necklace here. It really is a kind of showstopper piece and pretty easy to make. If you want to, you can share your creation in our Facebook page for beading and jewelry making. We love seeing the different colorways. You can also switch up this design for different beads rather than crystals, gemstones, etc. If you have not yet, hit that little subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy your new necklace.